Hey, you guys, if you are struggling to get dinner on the table, I am going to show you how to take something simple like this and throw it on the grill and turn it into something delicious like this. I'm also going to show you how to make coconut milk rice in the Instant Pot. And we're going to use up some leftovers so that we can create a balanced meal that is filling and great and super affordable, so cheap. Okay, guys, are you ready? So we are going to use up these chicken legs that I got for $1.27 a pound at an HEB grocery haul. I've shown you guys the ways that I've used that stuff up, the chicken quarters. I just had a video that went out showing how I turned that into a sheet pan dinner. This, we are going to use some leftover barbecue sauce that I have that we bought in bulk recently. Well, I guess it really was bought in bulk probably in May, and there's still half of a container left. So we're going to use it. I love this silicone brush. Do you see how like movable and bendable those hairs are on there? I say hairs in air quotes. It's silicone, but it is just like hair, like as if it were a paintbrush. It really is really nice. And I think my husband got it at HEB actually, it's probably 6 months ago when he was shopping one time. Anyway, we're just going to make sure that the barbecue sauce is evenly coated on all of the legs. This is going to be a very simple dinner that we're just going to throw out on the Traeger, or you could put these on a sheet pan and put them into the oven. You could put them in a 9 by 13 as long as they're not on top of each other. So like that, I wouldn't do it, only if I was cooking enough to keep it all flat and even in that 9 by 13. But you could certainly turn this into a sheet pan inside meal, just like we did with those quarters that I showed you recently. Now, the benefit to putting this out on the grill is that we're not going to be heating up the house. We want to make sure, I mean, it's summertime in South Texas. It's like, actually today, I don't think we're going to hit 100, but we've been hitting 100 since the second week of May. So the more we can cook on the grill, the happier we all are. So this is definitely the time of year where we're putting as much stuff as possible out on that grill. So we're going to get all of this done, and then we're going to pop it outside and cook it at about 395 to 400 until I just use my electric meat thermometer. I don't know. They may have been out there 40 minutes, 35 minutes. I don't really ever count. I just go out and check them. And then when they start to look done, I'll flip them, turn them. This is what I do for any of my meats. And then once they reach the temperature, which for these is 165 in the middle, then we're good to go and they're good to come off the grill. There are quite a few commercial barbecue sauces that I like. Stubbs is one, and it's a Texas brand. This Sweet Baby Ray's is good as well. I think my husband just bought it because it was bigger and in bulk, and you're going to pay less over time. I know that there's an investment in buying in bulk up front, but over time you'll pay less. And that's enough to get 3 dinners for my family. So while that is going out on the grill, we're going to go ahead and get our rice going. So I know we eat a lot of rice. I buy jasmine rice in bulk in 20, 25, I think it's 25-pound bags at Sam's or at Costco. And we eat rice multiple times a week. And I'm going to show you there are ways to switch it up so that you're not eating rice exactly the same way every single time. But I will tell you that the Instant Pot is one of my favorite. It's my go-to way to cook rice because it's just so easy. And this time we're going to add coconut milk to it to give it just a little extra flavor. And that will pair well with, I had 2 cans of red kidney beans that I wanted to use up before they expire. And so that will give us a great way to use up those kidney beans. We'll have the coconut rice with the red beans on top. This particular Instant Pot is an 8-quart. It works perfect for my family size because I'm feeding at least 7 people at a time. I do have a smaller 6-quart that is it's the Pioneer Woman brand. I mean, it's an Instant Pot brand, but it's Pioneer Woman decorated. Honestly, the plain Jane Instant Pot is my favorite. I feel like that other one burns stuff, or it gives me the burn error, even though it's not burning. It's really weird, but we still totally use it. But for rice, I generally just grab my 8 quart. We're going to use up this can of coconut milk that we need to use also before it expires. And what we're going to do is we want to make sure, so when I cook my jasmine rice, I do in the Instant Pot, I do equal parts water to equal parts rice. So equal parts liquid. So we're going to swap out the water for coconut milk slash finish it out with a little bit of water. So if I'm cooking 3 cups of rice, then I need 3 cups of liquid. So we've got to add a little bit of water to make that happen. But so there's our milk. It's right under 2 cups. And we're going to add some water so that this will have plenty of liquid to cook in. Remember, anytime that you're cooking in your Instant Pot, you need to be sure that it has at least 1 cup of liquid. I can't remember how much rice I was cooking this night. Typically, I'll do at least 3 cups of uncooked rice for our family, which turns into, so I think that's exactly what I have here. Looks like I'm doing another cup. So that will generally give us enough for everybody to have some rice with their dinner. So when you go to cook this in the Instant Pot, if it's white rice, you're only going to cook it for 4 minutes, okay? You can still add a little bit of salt. That is great for bringing out some of the flavor. How do you guys like my apron? So I actually went to Home Goods. I am not a Home Goods person, but Kelsey raves about it, and I really wanted a new apron, but I didn't want to pay an expensive price for it. So I ran into Home Goods recently because I have been going in there to get some of my nicer bathroom soaps because you can get them for so inexpensive. And I thought, you know what? I need a couple of soaps. I will look and see what they have for aprons. That apron was $9.99. And I like it. It's very neutral. It's very comfortable. I am so happy that I found it. Really, I'm so excited. I just got to remember to get it out more and put it on. If I'm just wearing like everyday lounging around the house clothes, I don't worry so much about it. But if I'm wearing my meeting clothes, like I've been in meetings that day on camera, I don't want to get those dirty. So, food splashing up on them. So, all right, we've got the Instant Pot going, and now we're going to open up these beans and just get them warming up on the stove. And can I tell you how much I absolutely love that can opener? I've had it for a long time. It is a Pampered Chef can opener. There are other brands that you can get on Amazon that make the same kind of can opener, but it takes that whole top piece off. I love it. I love it. It is worth it. I think I paid like $28 for it. Obviously, that was at least 12 years ago. But they have other comparable ones on Amazon, and sometimes you can even find Pampered Chef stuff new on Amazon. I will look and see what I can find for you guys, but I like that it takes the whole thing off and doesn't leave super sharp edges the way, especially when you've got little kids that, I just always worried when my kids were little about something happening. I've heard stories of kids getting cut by the jagged stuff on cans, like it's in the trash can and then it falls out and a kid slips on it, whatever. Um, and that can opener is in great shape. Like I've had it all these years. I use it all the time. It's never rusted. I really like it. All right, so there's our beans, and we're just going to put them on to simmer on the stove, let them thoroughly heat up, and they're going to be ready to put on top of our rice when the rice is done. All right, so I've got some stuff I need to use up. I have these mangoes that are ripe and ready to go. Mangoes are like bananas, not ready, not ready, and avocados. Not ready, not ready, not ready. Boom, they're ready. They're all ready. Eat them all now before they rot. So I need to use up some of these mangoes, and we're going to have them with our dinner. And I've got some grapes in the fridge that I need to use up, and I had some cucumber in the fridge. So I want you to remember that sides don't have to be a whole side dish. Like you can use stuff like this. I've done this ever since my kids were little. There were many times when I would make dinner for my kids when they were little, and yogurt was our side. Like if we were having, chicken nuggets, I would give them yogurt and some fruit on the side. It doesn't have to be a whole elevated experience, right? So look in your fridge, look at your fruits and vegetables, what is about to expire, and what out of that stuff that's about to expire, what doesn't actually have to be cooked that you can make an easy peasy side with and use it up before it goes bad. All right, so we are just going to peel these up and then I will slice them. And I've got this container here that I'm going to put them in. And then that way, it's a container that has a lid. So that way, when we're done, if all these mango slices don't get eaten up, they're ready to go. I can put them in the fridge and they're easy to pull out to have with lunch or with breakfast or with another dinner or just as a snack. And no one has to worry about slicing them and peeling them. They're ready, right? So they're more inclined to use them up. But I'll tell you, we love mangoes at our house, so it's not hard to get rid of them. There are many of us that love them, and I've got two grandkids that love them. So they don't like very rarely does a mango not get used in my house because it went bad. And we just savor the mango season. Like, I wish it was all year long. I love them. And I really love these champagne mangoes. That's what they're called. They're just so good. They are so good, and I love them when they're at this point of perfect ripeness. So, some of you may disagree with the way that I cut a mango. That's okay. You do it your way. I'm sure you are amazing at what you do. But, your seed runs, you've got a pit or a seed in there, and it runs flat through there. So, we can only cut around it like this. Now, I have a grandson that has his own method. Like, people's methods on how they cut mango, everybody is very opinionated about this. This is how I do it. So I peel it and then I run slices long way through it that go down to the pit. And then I slice those off just as I'm doing here. Some people may feel that that's tricky. These are slick. You need to be careful because you've got a knife in your hand. But knock on wood, I hate to even say it. You know what I'm going to say. I've never had any issues. But there are things that you can buy that allow you to cut the mango easier. Some people peel them. Some people just eat it right off of the seed. The problem that I have with that is all those fibers get in between my teeth and it drives me nuts. Yes, I floss. Yes, I have a water pick too, but it's annoying. And then you've got juice running down your face. Don't get me wrong. I love me some mango, but there's different ways to do it. Tell me, I would love to know, how do you slice your or prepare your mangoes? And what do you like to put them in? These would go great in salads as well. I like to just have it as a snack. I have even taken it and pureed it and made it a marinade for chicken. That's been really good. There are a lot of things that you can do with your mango. Let me know. What's your favorite thing to do with mango? All right, so see, we have a nice little side dish of sliced mango that's ready to go. And like I said, whatever doesn't get eaten, the lid can be popped on it and it can just go in the fridge and hang out. And we can use it over the next couple of days in our salads and things of that nature. Okay. All right. So now we're going to use up some cucumbers before they go bad. So I want to know, do you leave the peel on or the skin on your cucumbers, or do you peel them? I prefer them I prefer them to be peeled. Um and then I just slice them up into little slices. We're also going to add some salt and pepper to them, and I love them just like that. I also like them with some ranch dressing. So you could put your cucumbers in here and then put some ranch dressing, a tablespoon or so worth in there, and then shake your container up and it'll evenly coat them. And that is really, really yummy as well. Do you prefer regular cucumbers like these, or do you prefer the English cucumbers? Those are good too. I like both of them and I like to switch it up. Now, not everybody's going to want cucumbers, and that's okay. But if you want them, they're there, and they're very refreshing. I love them personally. All right, so put the lid on, and then we're just going to shake it up so that the salt and the pepper evenly distributes. and it's just going to sit. And if there are any left over, you can certainly put them in the refrigerator and they will keep for a couple of days as well. They make a nice snack. All right, I have got some grapes that I want to use up, and why not have them as a side with our dinner? We love grapes, and they aren't just for snacking or just for lunchtime or breakfast time. Put them on a plate with your dinner. So I am going to clean them and put them in a mason jar so that when they are done, they can go in the fridge and they're ready for people to grab as a snack. And like I said before, I've told you guys this in the past. I really love when I have the time to do this. I like putting my fruits in a mason jar because it keeps them super, super cold and they last longer for some reason. I don't know why, but they do. I get more life out of my strawberries and grapes when they are in a mason jar than anything else. So give it a try, but we're going to clean them. If I'm like really doing a good job cleaning them, I will let them soak in some water that has a little bit of vinegar in it. But that's like if I'm bringing everything from home from the grocery store and prepping it all, you know, I wasn't, I wasn't really feeling it. So I just washed them really good and put them in the mason jar. And then, like I said, we can pop them in the fridge when we're done. All right, so the chicken is just about ready to come in from off of the grill, and I like to just have all of my stuff right here on the counter. Makes it easy for me to make little kids' plates and for others to make their plates. Everything is all in one centralized area. Now, we did not cook the chicken in that pan. That is just what Lenny used when he went out to the grill to bring it in. Those cooked on the grill, on the Traeger itself. And then he puts them into some sort of container to bring them in. All right, how is our rice? Look at that. Absolutely delicious. Now, I will tell you, the rice, when it's cooked with the coconut milk, is a little firmer. It's not as tender, but it is not al dente at all. Okay, I just want you to be prepared for that. It's less sticky, actually, and just more firm individual grains of rice. I loved it. No one complained about it. I really like rice this way. Coconut milk is such a great way to just add some extra flavor to your rice. You should really try it. You really should. Now, your measurements are going to change if you're using a different grain of rice. The measurements I shared were just for the jasmine, okay? But I'm sure it would come out just as great with a long grain rice. You just need to figure out your cooking, your ratios. So I'm getting everything pulled over here so that we can start making plates and get everybody fed, and then dinner will be done. All right, so let's take a closer look. There's that rice. Absolutely delicious. See how it's just like each grain is very separated? We've got the cucumbers, we have the grapes, we have the mangoes, we have the beef. There is the chicken and the beans. Super delicious. You can see that was done on the grill. It's got the char spots on it. Very delicious. And we're going to make some plates and get people fed. All right, guys, there you have it. That is an easy peasy dinner. The chicken was $1.27 a pound, 2 cans of beans, some grapes that I got on a rollback at Walmart. I think the cucumber was 68 cents. The mangoes I buy in bulk for $8 at Sam's. And then rice is so inexpensive. And the can of coconut milk that I already had on hand. That is dinner. It filled us up. It was so delicious. All right, guys, let me know in the comments, what are you making right now? How are you being inventive with chicken so that it doesn't feel like you're eating chicken every single night? And where you live, are you finding that chicken is the cheapest protein right now, aside from beans? Let me know. Leave me some comments. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next video.